So we're going to start working on the windows. So first of all, I'll just bypass those. So we can see what we're looking for. Okay, now that's just to give us a view from our primary of where all the windows are. What we should really do is just start with a new corrector or a floating node, give that an input, and then pop that output out so we can see it. And the window I'm going to go for is here. So I'm going to go back to my qualifier, and I'm going to just click on the window just to start the selection process. Now when I highlight that, it's going to be virtually indistinguishable from the wall around it. That's fine. This is just to give me a starting point, but because I know that the window is darker than its surrounding wall, I can turn off hue and saturation and just use the brightness, the luminance. Push that down a little bit there, so it's reasonably well defined against its background there, and we're going to improve that contrast in another node. But for now, all I want to do is just get the edge of the window there white against black for the most part, and I'm going to create a window just to keep all of this from being selected as well. So I click on the curve, zoom in, get as close as I can. And you'll see now that that is only selecting the window. Now, the window needs to be turned white, not just seen in its matte image. So I'm going to, in this selection, I'm going to go to the curves and lift that window to be white. You'll see it does make a little bit of noise around the edges, but we'll deal with that in another node. Now, same as with the sky, I'm going to right click, add node, add outside, and take everything else down to be black. So now I've got a white window against a black background. Now the last node, add serial again, is just going to allow me to add a little bit more contrast so that those areas around the window get pulled down to black and the window stays nice and white. Okay, so that's window 1, we'll call it. So maybe just label that W1, and I'm going to start on another window. So add node corrector, give it an input, show its output, and we're going to follow the same process but on a different window. I'm going to go with a window close to it. I'm going to go with this one down here. Now select the qualifier, click on the window, same process as before. Now we can select directly on Luma if we go up here, but it's it's just as easy. So I'll get that same as before, reasonably well selected. Switch off the highlighter, and actually switch it on again just while I draw my window. Get in nice and close, and move it around a bit so I can see it. Okay. Now this one's a little bit cleaner, apart from that little smudge there. And into the curves and lift that up. Switch off the highlighter so we can see the actual window. And right click, add node, add outside. Take everything else down to be black. And one final serial node to do any adjustments to that. Okay, so that's looking okay now. Now, because I've got two windows and I can only see them one at a time currently, I need to mix them down into one output. So that's where you bring in your add node and layer mixer, and you pull the RGB outputs to the mixer and send the mixer to your output. Now currently, because it's a layer mixer, it will only show us the bottom layer, so it looks down and only shows you whatever is at the bottom of the node input connections here. Because we have white on black in two different areas, the easiest thing to do in our layer mixer to show them both is to switch to composite mode to add, and now we have our two windows visible together. So that is our second matte image. Now the last thing we're going to do in the next video is just to show a quick blue shift and how we can use existing selections or keys to be specific from this node and send it up. So that's going to be in the next video.